YouTube fam, it's your girl TK. Look, I am just waking up and I am at home vlogging. Now, numero uno, I have decided that I wanted to get online real quick, and I make it real quick and talk to you guys about Jane Roberts as well as Justice Roberts. Now, if you guys don't know, Justice Roberts sits on the highest court, the U.S. Supreme Court, and he is the Chief Justice, okay? Like, bow down, bitches. And I want you guys to note who Jane Roberts is. Miss Jane Roberts is the spouse of Justice Roberts. So you know to move out the way when she comes around, okay? She has a lot of political influence, and on top of that, her husband sits on the highest Supreme Court. Now, what I found very interesting as of recent is that I was doing my research. Y'all know me, I like to scroll through, and I saw that a whistleblower actually made a complaint about her. Now, that seems like that would be very tricky. How can you make a complaint about Miss Jane Roberts when her husband is the judge, Justice Roberts? You know, that could be a very scary yet intimidating thing. Now, I want you guys to know that this whistleblower actually was saying that Jane Roberts made a commission of $10.3 million, and they were actually questioning how she was getting them funds. Now, I wanted to read this article to you guys, of course, because I thought it was giving interesting. And it's coming from, what is the name of this article coming from? I want to make sure. It's Insider. So if you ever want to look it up, you can always look it up. I don't know if it's coming. No, it's not going to come through on its phone. I don't know why. But I'll give you the headline. It says, Jane Roberts, who is married to Chief Justice John Roberts, made $10.3 million in commissions from elite law firms, whistleblower documents show. Ooh, Felicia. So a real whistleblower was actually saying $10.3 million from elite law firms, and how she was getting that money. It don't even seem like it's professional or an accountable thing that she should have been doing. Or not really accountable, ethical. That's the word that I'm looking for. Now, before I get into reading the story to you, do you know what a whistleblower is? Now, if you watch my channel, you already know it's T. But if you don't know, I want you guys to know that a whistleblower is a person who has disclosed that a law, rule, regulation has been violated. And it's so interesting because, you know, my case that I have actually took to the U.S. Supreme Court has to do with whistleblower complaints. So I'm very interested to see what this whistleblower was really talking about when they spoke about Miss Jane Roberts and how she made her $10.3 million. So, you know, we finna to get into it. Now, I am going to start reading this article to you guys, and we'll go from there. Now, it says here that Jane Roberts generated a whopping $10.3 million in commissions paid out by corporations and law firms for placing high-dollar lawyers with them. That eye-popping figure comes from records in a whistleblower complaint filed by a disgruntled former colleague of Roberts, who says that as the spouse of the most powerful judge in the United States, the income she earns from law firms who practice before the court should be subject to public scrutiny. So my question, do you guys think that, you know, the money that Jane Roberts makes should be a part of public scrutiny? You will have to let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to know what you were thinking. Now, I'm going to go back and read what this whistleblower is stating. Now, it says here that when I found out that, it says, when I found out that the spouse of the Chief Justice was soliciting business from law firms, I knew immediately that it was wrong. The whistleblower, Kendall B. Price, who worked alongside Jane Roberts at the legal recruiting firm Major Lindsay in Africa, told Insider in an interview. During the time I was there, I was discouraged from ever raising the issue. And I realized that even the law firms who were Jane's clients had nowhere to go. Just imagine that you are an attorney working for an elite law firm, and you basically are looking for someone to assist you. And the only person you can go to is Jane Roberts. Because if you didn't go to her, if you didn't use her business, it was looked down upon you. Because this is the woman who is basically working alongside the Chief Justice. You know, that's the wife of the Chief Justice. She's not working alone. That's the wife. Oh, this is getting interesting. Now, it goes on to say they were being asked by the spouse of the Chief Justice for business worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and there was no one to complain to, of course. Again, her husband is the Chief Justice. Most of these firms were likely appearing or seeking to appear before the Supreme Court. It's natural that they'll do anything they felt was necessary to be competitive. Roberts' apparent $10.3 million in compensation puts her towards the top of the pay scale for legal headhunters. Price's disclosures, which were filed under federal whistleblower protection laws and are now in the hands of the House and Senate Judiciary Committees, add to the mounting questions about how Supreme Court justices and their families financially benefit from the special status, an area that Senate Democrats are vowing to investigate after a series of disclosures lapses by the justice themselves. Now, when it comes to the investigation part, I want you guys to understand something. I don't believe it. I think what they did was they took that information. Unfortunately, that person who made that disclosure is terminated. I understand it. I went through it myself. And honestly, I'm still going through it because I decided to file my case back to the U.S. Supreme Court. What's very unfortunate is that her case is just sitting there, and is going to sit there for a while because these are some very powerful political people. This headhunter that she is going after is the wife of one of the powerful men in the world. You know, the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. Do you realize that these people sit in these positions for life? You know, for life. And maybe that needs to be changed. You know, maybe they'll work if they wasn't in that position for life. You know? Now, I want you guys to understand something. If you want to just read about the Chief Justice's wife, Miss Jane Roberts, you'll look at her and you'll be kind of like, oh, amazed by her because she's been an advocate for anti-abortion laws. You know, she wants to see a child being developed. She wants to see the growth. And I appreciate that. I almost appreciate her like Miss Melania Trump. I'm sure you guys, if you haven't seen my story on Miss Melania Trump, you should check it out. Because I really thought Melania Trump was interesting how she wanted to foster children. And at the same time, her husband was alleged of rape and scandals and sleeping around and everything else. And this is no different with Melania Trump and Jane Roberts. Well, it's kind of different. Well, one of them is just really out here just taking money. You know, she just grabbing it up. And the other was actually in foster care, assisting. But I want you guys to know something real quick. Jane Roberts, egregious. Justice Roberts, abusive, egregious. This man, as of recent, I don't know if you guys realize it, but as of recent, he was, you know, basically, well, I've basically looked at a former case where he basically is out here breaching information, you know, and this is the man who sits on the U.S. Supreme Court. So if his wife isn't accepting money, he's breaching the U.S. Constitution and not following the letter of the law. Hell, even when dealing with political figures like Donald Trump. He's going to do whatever he has to do to save his ass. Anyhow, guys, I want you guys to note something. If you have a chance, you should definitely check out the story that's going on with Justice Roberts' wife, Miss Jane Roberts, excuse me. I think it's giving interesting. It's reality. And you'll see how unethical these individuals are. But they are allowed to keep their jobs. And to me, it's criminal. It should not be occurring, but it is. And that should be investigated. Anyhow, with that being noted, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if so, make sure that you know that you can like, comment, and subscribe, darling. Please keep your notifications on. Peace, love, and happiness, guys. Remember always, it is so imperative to stay safe, stay blessed, follow these laws, rules, and regulations, policies, and procedures, because you don't know when, where, and or how it might impact you. Bye, guys.